We all want to be well. We want to have our health. Some of us want to lose weight, but we don't want the stress that comes along with it. So listen in for some stress-free wellness tips. Are you struggling to keep your head above water and brushing aside how you physically feel? You know you need to do something to feel better, but what? Nothing's working and you're about to give up. I hear ya. I'm Jolene, a nutritional therapy practitioner, a wife, and a furry guardian. Like you, I let my work and everything else get in the way of health, often chasing skinny instead of health until I learned how the body worked. Welcome to Holistic Health Made Simple, where I share all the tips, tricks, and science to set you free from the overwhelm of diet culture and frustration with the ever-changing health rules, going beyond the calorie and diet dogma to equip you to be healthy through simple changes to food, mindset, and lifestyle. If you're ready to stop spinning your wheels and learn how to feel better with changes that work for you, results that are undeniable like more energy, improved mood, better sleep, and fat loss, this is the podcast for you. Pop in those headphones, take a deep breath, and let's get healthy. Hey there. We know stress is not good for us. We know that it harms our actual health. Yet, we pick a random date and decide we are going to change our eating habits, our lifestyle habits, our workout habits all at once and jump into this new lifestyle so that we can get healthy and lose weight without giving it a lot of thought about how much stress that is going to add to our actual life. Why are you making these drastic, dramatic changes because you followed someone on the internet or a friend said it's the best way to do this, yet it doesn't fit in your life? It's going to cause you more stress. Stress is going to make it to the point where you're going to give up because it's harming you versus benefiting you. When we look at making major lifestyle changes, we know for a fact that getting married, getting divorced, moving, having a child, a death in the family, all are incredibly stressful situations. So when you're looking at making this huge health transformation and changing everything from the food you eat, the way you exercise, the way you move, the way you live, and it upends everything you do today, that's just as stressful as a marriage, as a divorce, as moving. You are changing everything. So now let's take a step backwards. Let's figure out how to incorporate healthy habits, health changes, so that we can reach our goals, but does not cause that stress, because stress is unhealthful. We know this. It's very detrimental to our overall health. So we need to find stress-less wellness. So let's dive into some of my top tips. The first one being, be realistic with your goals and how much you can actually change at once. Let's start with exercise. All too often, and I've been there, I've done it, so I'm calling myself out. We decide all of a sudden the first of the year, the first of the month, or on Monday, we are going to go to the gym 4 to 6 days a week for 2 hours a day. We're going to lift weights. We're going to do our cardio. We're going to take a class, whatever it is. When we haven't been into the gym in years, we haven't worked out in years. This is not a good way to get started. One, your body is going to get so tired so fast, you probably won't be able to keep up with it. That's problem number one. Two, there's a huge chance you might get injured because you haven't done that kind of movement. So let's start easing into exercise. Do a few workouts 2 to 3 times a week, an hour, a half hour, whatever fits your schedule now. That's the other key. If you are planning to do all this gym time, yet you have a high demanding job, a demanding family that like kids are going all over to sports, you're not going to be able to fit it in. And you need your sleep. So you're either going to give up sleep or give up family time, because work, you never give up work time. I'm sorry. Been there, done that. So pick times, an amount of times that actually fit into your schedule that will work with you, because doing something is better than doing nothing. And if you can only stick with it for a week or two and then you give up altogether, that defeats the purpose. And the same goes for dietary changes. Now, dietary changes are way more complex than exercise. We know this. You are an individual. You cannot pick a random diet off the internet and expect it to magically change your health. Now, I picked a random diet off of a cookbook. It changed my health, but it changed my health because of all the things I had to not eat because they didn't agree with me versus changing my health because I picked this random diet. Now, when you're looking at dietary changes, one, you need to know what your gut can and cannot handle. Because if you're picking this random diet off the internet and your stomach can't digest the food that's on it, you're going to either end up not eating, you're going to fail miserably at the diet, or you're going to give up. I mean, they're all kind of not good results anyways. So you're going to look at it as a whole of how can I eat healthy, support my body and what's going on in my body. And then you're going to make small changes. For example, if you know gluten bothers you and you struggle to give it up completely, make a rule that you are not allowed to eat it in your own home. Trust me, you'll cut back considerably to the point where you stop eating it, because the couple times that you eat it out and about, you'll realize that how miserable it actually makes you feel. Those are little changes. Start incorporating more fruits and vegetables, prioritizing your protein. Always prioritize your protein. That's probably the easiest step because, it's easy to put a piece of meat on your plate and then surround it with your veggies. And then maybe some potatoes or some of those type of carbs, root vegetables, and balance out your plate in a way that benefits you. We got to remember, we're all aging. I don't care if you're 20, 30, 40, 50, 60. We all get older every single day. And the one saving grace that is the most important thing our body needs is healthy muscle. And we only get healthy muscle from prioritizing our protein. That is probably the first step over everything else that I would like you to do. And then as you decide what foods you need to get rid of or limit, do it slowly. Don't do a huge overhaul. It's very difficult. And it's easy when you have a large family to give it up because all the other food is around or constantly fall off your plan. Now, one of the other tips I'm going to go into is I hate it when people label foods as good or bad, except for maybe Oreos. They're just a chemical storm, but even those I won't say are bad or good. Food is there. We need to build a healthy relationship. I limited my carb intake for years because my body needed that to heal. And when my body wasn't reacting properly, I learned how to reintroduce those carbs to support my hormones that I have now. So that's why I don't want any food limited or labeled as good or bad, because when you need to change your diet to support your body and you've labeled something as bad, you become terrified of it. You become scared to even try it because you have all these people around you saying, well, if you go back to the way you're eating, you're going to gain all the weight back. Which is true if you go back to eating junk food. A well-balanced whole foods diet is sustainable when you reach your goals. You might still need to rid yourself of foods that are binge eating triggers, emotional eating triggers, or if you're a diabetic, until you get that blood sugar regulation under control, you're gonna need to control your carbs. There is a philosophy, and I can go into it if you want. Just hit reply or leave me a speed pipe message below about the idea that fat is a problem versus carbohydrates or the glucose in your system. It's kind of fascinating, but it's a little too complex for this because we're talking about relieving our stress. So if you're a diabetic, one of the easiest ways to get your blood sugars under control is reducing carbs, but not saying they're bad. They just aren't working for your body now. You see how I rephrased that? When we give up foods, we're just saying that they don't work for me now. We want to stick to healthy foods, protein, fat, carbohydrates, fruits and vegetables, produce. Nobody can tell me that a whole food carb is truly bad. That's not what got us unhealthy and overweight. A banana didn't get us fat, neither did carrots or apples. But we may have to limit them while we're trying to heal. So when you think about it in that context, I hope that helps relieve some of the stress, because I never want you going to a restaurant and freaking out that they put shredded carrots on your salad. You're not going to all of a sudden blow up to be 500 pounds. You're going to eat the carrots, enjoy the salad, and move on. That's the key. We need to rebuild a healthy relationship with foods and realize that food in its natural form is not bad or good. It's when we get into processed foods that are taken apart and elements of them are put back together that our body doesn't know how to handle those as much. So take it slow. So my two big tips right now are both come with exercise or food, but take it slow and do one thing at a time. Also, if you're trying to rid your home of toxic chemicals, like you've heard all this toxicity stuff, which it's true, there's a lot of chemicals out there that are harming our health. Do it one at a time when you run out. Even with the food, if you're starting to change your eating habits, what you do is you eat what you already purchased, because there's no sense to throw it out. I mean, that's just wasteful. Unless it's truly junk food, don't throw it out. Eat it, and when it's gone, it's gone. Don't buy it again. It's that simple. When it comes to changing your laundry detergent, it's the same thing. When it's gone, it's gone. Buy the new one. Don't replace it with the one you're trying to get rid of. When you get to exercise, take it slow. When you go to change your food, take it slow. That's how you are successful, and that's how you don't have the stress. Don't assign negativity to any of it. If you miss a workout because you needed to sleep or spend some time with your kid, that doesn't make you a bad person. If you had a piece of cake when you were out to dinner celebrating a friend's birthday, that doesn't make you a bad person. Stop demeaning yourself or making that who you are. Food is food. We need to do our best and make our best choices when it comes to the majority of the time in healthy foods. And if we slip up and move forward. That's it. That's it. Do the best you can. Make the best choices you can. And don't stress out when you make mistakes. It is all about making progress, not perfection. On that note, my friends, I will see you next time. Bye. Thanks for listening in today. I hope you got some nuggets to take on your health journey. Remember, this podcast is for educational and entertainment purposes. No medical advice is being given. By listening to this podcast, you agree to the full disclaimer, which is linked in the show notes. If you found this podcast helpful, could you take 30 seconds and leave a review? Your feedback means the world to me, and it helps others discover my show. Once again, thank you for being part of my community. Until next time, have a blessed day.